Hello everybody, let me just go back to my screen. I guess we're supposed to see that. Hello everybody, welcome to the Season 53 Minor League PBE Draft. Today we will see the future of the PBE and where these highly prospects will be ending up. As always, I'm your host, Tim G. I'm joined today by a few minor league GMs. GMs, you could just state your name and what team you are here representing today.
I guess we'll go alphabetical.
Yeah, sure, you got it.
Sure thing.
I'm C. I'm GM of the California Firehawks, the Fire Chickens.
And then I'm Jacob, and I am the GM for the Lemurs.
Right, and Tim here. I'm the GM of the State College Swifties. Alright, before we begin, any thoughts about this year's draft class?
I love this draft class. It was super deep, and pretty much every user was active and had a lot of picks where there were a lot of people that we wanted, and we couldn't take all of them. So I think that sentiment was likely generally felt among the league or among the other GMs. So,
We quiet? Is that what it is?
Apparently.
Oh, we're quiet? Alright.
Time to pump it up.
Indeed. Let me go to my OBS settings. They said that you were too quiet?
I think both of us are too
Both
quiet.
of you guys are both C and Jacob. Okay. Let me adjust you guys' volume in Discord. Alright. C, go ahead and do a mic check. See if chat can hear you.
Let's see how this is. Looks like I'm peaking a little bit on my gain, so I should be pretty loud.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. Because you're at 149%. Hey! We got a new person in the booth. Go ahead and introduce yourself and who you're repping for your team.
I am JJ, and I am one of the Kansas City Hepcat GMs.
Thank you, JJ. We're just doing a quick volume check. Chat was saying that a couple of these guys were a little bit low.
Yes, they said I was really low, so.
Yeah, try now, Jacob. See if they can hear you now.
You might need to adjust it in OBS too.
Yeah, I did. I know that my audio input was a little bit on the low side, so I'm sure that played a part. Can y'all hear him now, though?
Sounds good.
So I sound good. Perfect.
We can keep going. We can make it louder.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can just start screaming too.
Yeah, my audio input was a little bit on the lower side. I typically keep it a little bit lower because I do tend to get loud.
He said 40% or 30% loud.
For Jacob, I have Jacob.
I think for everyone.
Okay, because I have everyone at like 150%.
Yeah.
for their audio. Right. Hey, Flying, welcome. Introduce yourself and what team you are representing today.
I'm representing Chicago Kingpins.
Well, welcome. Alright, so I did up everyone. So it chats. Well, because everyone is at like 150%, and I don't want to go any higher than that because I do not want to blow out my eardrums. So, but with that, I do believe we are ready to begin the draft. Oh, you got drafted in the SHL? Nice job. What team? Katie, be nice. Alright, with that, we will begin with the first pick in this year's draft. With the first pick of the Season 53 Minor League Draft, the Kansas City Hepcats will select AJ Big Boom Justice, first baseman, username Rory. JJ, you want to talk a little more about this pick?
First of all, shout out to the runners, but you know, I think having someone that has like the GM experience and can really like impact in your locker room is really just good to have around, and someone that has like really good character too. Love AJ, but yeah, I'm just really happy to have someone like that in our locker room, and I think it was an easy choice for us, and someone that loves the minors as well.
Yeah, obviously, very nice to have a experienced user in the league, and definitely got a nice pick there with AJ. Anyone want to share any other thoughts?
JJ summed it up pretty well. Definitely was a great pick at number 1.
Alright, so congrats to Rory on being the first pick overall in this year's draft. With that, with the second pick, the State College Swift Seeds are going to select DW Dog Maple, first baseman, username Dogwood Maple. We are bringing the Swiftie legend back to State College. This pick at number 2 was a no-brainer. Dogwood was always projected, I think, to go relatively high in this draft. It was just a matter of where he would land. And the Swift Seeds, we definitely are in a bit of a rebuild, so having a experienced player in our locker room to really help us push towards a potential championship run, is always a huge help to have. So congrats, Dog Maple. You are coming back to State College. Before we move on, any other thoughts?
These guys could have gone number 1, honestly. We had a lot of great draft prospects in this year, and I don't think you're going to see any misses for a long time. So this was a great person to pick up. I think everyone's going to congratulate you on this.
I was, as soon as he fell to us, I was like, we have to grab him because otherwise he will not go to the second round. He will be picked in the first round. So it's like, Alright, with that, the third overall pick, the Louisville Lemurs are going to select Seymour Baltz, third baseman, username Philip Pryor. Jacob, I want to go behind the logic behind this pick.
Yeah, so at pick 3, we had 5 bats leave Louisville, so we had a lot of outfielder. We needed to replace our entire outfield, and then also needed a first baseman. And Philip Pryor, not only first off, just a great user. Captain spoke very highly of him as through his work as an updater. So we love the user, and then just his flexibility to he's open to playing all sorts of different positions for us. So really just get a great user and got a lot of flexibility for later on in the draft to not lock ourselves out of anyone else that we wanted to pick. So super happy to get Philip Pryor here, and excited to welcome him to Louisville.
This was a really good pick. Like I said, like I said earlier, a lot of really good picks in this draft. Any one of these players has potential to just be phenomenal once they make it to the bigs. So, great pick by the Lemurs, and great job, Seymour. With that, with the 4th overall pick in this draft, the Brew City Bears are going to select Professor Crookwell, starting pitcher. Stegosaurus. I do have some draft notes from Dame regarding this pick. With the Stars pressing another Bears pitcher to help lead them to a championship, we were in the market for a new starting pitcher, and boy did we find one. Steg and Punk go way back, surviving HO together and share a team in the ISFL, but we knew we were getting a fantastic user with loads of experience. And with Roy leaving the clubhouse, we needed a new frog, and thankfully Crookwell fit the bill. And that was from Dean. Any thoughts on this pick?
Yeah, I love Steg. Got to be an HO with him for a little bit, and also I'm on the same team, the Yeti, with Punk and Steg. So I really wanted to draft him. We just didn't have any room for starting pitching. So, but definitely was a great user to pick up for the Bears. So.
This was definitely a really smart pick by the Bears. It all begins really, with pitching, and Stag, is very well-known user, and I think he was here when I first started back in season 18. So, congrats, Stag. With the 5th overall pick in this year's draft, the California Firehawks will select Taco Bell, starting pitcher, username Danny. You wanna talk a little bit more about this pick?
Sure, yeah. There are a lot of unsung heroes in PvE history, and for a lot of the newer users, you're not going to recognize a lot of the names that made this whole league what it is today. And Danny is one of those top tier users who did quite a bit that you guys probably haven't been able to recognize over the past few seasons. The database / programming and scraping work that he did all these ages ago has paid dividends for this league in so many different ways. So getting an opportunity to bring a former Firehawk back, someone who was part of the first trade I ever made as a Seattle GM, and having just such a great user come back into our organization, it's a huge win for us. We definitely needed at least one starting pitcher. We got one right here. And I have this love relationship with Taco Bell as a whole. I'm a big beefy 5-layer burrito fan, and I hope a lot of you out there are. Crunchwrap Supreme's better, I'll take that one too. But I draft based on what people tell me in my scouting reports about their love of Taco Bell. So, I mean, it can't get any higher than this, I don't think. So this is a great pick for us. I think this is going to be one of the lockdown pitchers that we're going to have starting the first 6 or 7 innings of every game. So love having it. Glad to have you back, Danny. You're the man.
I mean, can't go wrong with Taco Bell. Although I'm more of a bean and cheese guy myself. Any other comments about this pick before we go on to the next one? I think there's a no. Alright, with that, the 6th overall pick in this year's draft, the Anchorage Wheelers are going to select Antonio Buminetti, center fielder, user Professor Scoobs. And I do have some draft notes here from Nick Wise regarding this pick. According to Nick, losing the minor league leader in WAR gives us some pretty big shoes to fill in center field. Luckily, Bubinetti is exactly what we were looking for. Flexibility and eagerness to learn makes them the perfect outfit for our most needed position. Definitely a very much important position out in center field, and one that the leaders definitely are going to be in need of. So congrats to Scoobs. You're going to the Anchorage. I hope you like the cold. Alright, with the 7th overall pick in this year's draft, the Florida Flamingos are going to select Boys to Chess back again, second baseman, username 4D Chess. And do some notes from Parquad about this one. Here we are. 4D Chess was a clear pick here when he fell to us. Not only is he one of the best humans I've ever met in the Florida Sim Leagues, he is also a team player, and so he was willing to do whatever the team needed. And so an easy first round pick here. So excited to see him in pink. Congrats, Boys to Chess. To going to my former team, the Florida Flamingos. And the 8th overall pick this draft, the Amarillo Armadillos are going to select Lestate Lion Court, a catcher, username K-Dub. And I did not get draft notes for the Dillos. So with that, did you guys have anything to comment about this pick in the first round?
A good little draft conversation, and this build is going to absolutely wreck some people in the minors, so look out for some future awards for this guy right here.
What's the build? A power or TTO?
It's a speed right now.
Oh, really? That's rare.
Yep.
That's rare for a catcher. And when you think catcher, you typically think arm strength, so typically power. Interesting choice by Kata, but I'm sure he'll fit right in Amarillo. And with that being the last pick of the first round, 9th overall, the Louisville Lemurs will select Paulo Zalewski, right fielder, username Majisu. I want to talk more about this, Jacob.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised to see Maj fall this far. Maj is one of the most influential users that the PBA has seen, set up so many different departments, commissioned for a while. I believe he's responsible for the Twitch account, runs the League Bank account, runs the appeals team, just so many different things, and just a super great user, both in general for the league and also for the locker room. Also has the OTP knowledge, so we know we're going to be getting a good build out of Maj for his time here. So just super happy to be able to have Maj in Louisville and look forward to seeing his career unfold.
Yeah, no. When I saw Maj drop this low, my jaw dropped because I did not expect Nash to drop this low in this year's draft. But hey, he picked up a phenomenal player and a phenomenal user as well. And that will conclude the first round of this year's draft. We'll move on to the second round. With the 10th overall pick in this year's draft, the Kansas City Hepcats will select Les Scoden, a shortstop, username Squid. I know Jazzy said he might have to leave. Don't know if you're still there, Jazzy, but I did get your notes.
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect.
So I had a really great combo with them, and I know they're in the SHL as well, and I've seen them a bit in there, and we really needed a infielder too, and it was one of our weak spots last year. So we really think with them and a few of our other pieces, we can really make a difference this year, and we're really happy to have them.
And that is pick number 10. With that, the 11th pick in the second round, the Sweetcall Swifties are going to select Jackson Ramirez, starting pitcher. That is a typo. Username Wizbro. Yeah, no, last season we definitely had some holes at starting pitcher. Losing Tesla, as well as a few of our arms in the rotation definitely hurt us. Relying on bots as well didn't really go all that well. So we are super excited to have Ramirez joining our locker room. Had a he pitched that perfect game in the prospect league. And anytime you can pitch a perfect game in any game, that is an automatic draft in my book. So congrats, Jackson Ramirez, Wisbro. Welcome to State College. All right. Any other comments before we move on? All right. With the 12th overall pick, the Chicago Kingpins will select Bacher Wheeler, starting pitcher, username dissolved. Fine, you want to talk a little bit more about this pick?
Yeah. Walker Wooler, this is kind of a redemption arc, really. He indicated his first player was a little less active, but we had a really good scouting conversation with him, and I feel good. I think he's going to probably do better this time around, try to be as active as he can be, and I think he fills a great need on our team. We need starting pitchers, and I wanted to give him a chance to show the league that he can be active and a contributor. I think that this will work out really well for us.
Yeah, no. Obviously being active really helps, especially as a starting pitcher. Really at any position, but especially with starting pitcher. All my pitchers have done too well, aside from my current player because have been active. So, but yeah, no. Hopefully, you can keep him active and engaged. If you can do that, he will be phenomenal. In you guys' rotation. So, great pick.
That's my job as a minor league GM is to try to help engage the players. Yes.
No worries. And with congrats to Bacher Wheeler, to the Kingpins. With the 13th pick, the Brew City Bears are going to select Milo Msture, center fielder, username Msture. And I do have from Dartmouth, from Brew City. How could we say no to the Marbles champion of the world? Msture has been incredibly active in the Rookie Discord and in Prospect League. His passion and excitement have really shown during our conversations with him. We're excited to bring him to Bruce City, and we hope to help make his player succeed as much as his marble does. Congrats, Msture, and have fun in Bruce City. The 14th pick, the California Firehawks will select Deion Sandals, left fielder, username Grizzly. Alright, Firehawks, you want to talk some more about this?
Yeah, so we've had a rotating outfield for quite a while. That's pretty much been inactive for a few seasons, at least almost as long as I've been around this organization. And this guy comes out of nowhere with a crate that can kind of play a little bit of center field, a little bit of left field, and then says, "Oh, don't draft me too high. I'm not going to be super active on this player." All this, come on, man. You think I'm not going to draft someone who is a huge part of our organization that high, and someone who, I don't know, maybe made the best graphics that the PBE has ever seen? There was no way I was going to let him fall further than this. So I am so stoked to have one of the biggest Firehawk influences back in the locker room, back on our team, and hopefully leading us to yet another championship. So welcome to the team, Grizz. Really happy to have you.
Yeah, no. Seriously, guys, if you guys haven't seen Rizzy's renders, he does a lot of the stream renders that you see on during the draft. phenomenal. Cannot say enough about his renders. So yeah, you guys picked a really, really good pick. And with that, the 15th overall pick goes to the Street College Swifties, and they will select Jordan Hill, third base, username JustToMe15. Third base was definitely a position of need going into this draft. Some of our picks from last draft did go inactive, so we are trying to build around that. And in comes Jordan Hill. Had a really good run in the prospect league. Was from what I've heard, really active in conversations with our scouts, and overall is going to fit in just fine over at third base. We are really excited to have him in this draft, and we are super excited to see what he will do in our eventual playoff push. So congrats, JustToMe15. And once again, welcome to State College. And with the 16th pick, the Florida Flamingos are going to select Brianna Rose Sabor, first baseman, user Petra likes baseball. And from Paraquat, I do have some notes for that. Honestly, just like chess, Petra was never picked. That was a shock she felt to us. She is such a lovely human being that is such a huge part of why we took her here. In addition to that, she also was upfront for her team, so she will do whatever the team needs to get back-to-back picks that we were debating, and taking the first is pretty spectacular. Man, Petra is a legend among us older players in PBE. She was around back when I first started in season 18. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't she around since like the early seasons of the league? I don't know if anyone...
18 is pretty old. I'm 17 and that feels like ages ago. So yeah, they've been a consistent influence for a long time. And it's glad to see him back here.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, Petra is a phenomenal user, one who goes way back. So, man, I've really been in this league for almost 3 years now. Holy crap! With that, congrats to Petra. With the 17th pick, the Armadillos will select Austin Sanders, third baseman, username D3 Gaming Organization. As I said, I did not get any draft notes from the Dillos. What do you guys think of this pick? Alright, yes, no thoughts. So we go to the 18th pick with the Chicago Kingpins, and they will select Skuma-kun, relief pitcher, username Unconfident. Flying, you want to talk some more about this one?
Yes, we got really lucky with this pick. Actually, Amarillo was going to pick this player before us, but they let their draft clock run out, and we came in and sniped them really quick. And we managed to get a position of need, a relief pitcher, and again, we had a good scouting conversation with Unconfident, so I'm very happy they fell to us at this pick in the second round. I think they will be wonderful in our bullpen.
Yeah, those draft clocks, they tend to sneak up on you. And
They do.
I love the render as well. Really love Persona 3. And so definitely loving the Makoto render. And that concludes the second round of this year's draft. Go on to round number 3 with the 19th pick on this year's draft list, Hepcat will select Atlas Bones, catcher, username Sopath.
Oh,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Jesse.
I'm here, and I had a really great conversation with them, and I know they were very active in the rookie Discord, in the class Discord as well, and really needed one last hitter for the lineup to finish it out, to really create that hopefully depth lineup that we can make, and I think that they will be another great add to the locker room, and hopefully that this season our locker room should be one of the best out there, and we're excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was watching the Prospect League of Time when I was coaching with NAS before all of my technical issues started happening. Really impressed with how Atlas performed. So hopefully he will continue that success with you guys going forward. With the 20th overall pick in this year's draft, the State College Swift teams will select Archie Richards, a starting pitcher, username Hang Time on Discord. Again, starting pitching was definitely a position of need this season. Last season, as we relied on a bunch of bots, our team ERA was not exactly all that great, and we are confident that Archie will be able to help us bounce back, and that he will be a really essential part of our rotation. We are super happy that we were able to snag him as late as he fell. And with that, with the 21st pick in this year's draft, the college Swifties will select Cassius Agrippa, a second baseman, username Hollywood TY. Again, just another real position of need. We definitely have a bit of a hole at second base. And Cassius will definitely help us fill in that gap. This is a really solid defender, really solid just player overall, and definitely a really key, or at least very hopefully key figure in our defense going forward. So welcome, Cassius, and we are excited to have you in State College. With the 22nd pick in the third round, the Chicago Kingpins will select Nicolino Di Benedetto, third baseman, username V Nicolino. Flying, you want to talk more about this pick?
Yeah, we really valued Nicolino, and we ended up having to trade up to get this player. We traded our fourth round this year and our second round next year to have the honor of picking Nicolino. I think he's actually going to slot in as a catcher for us for the first season, so he's going to fill a big position of need there. There are very few catchers left on the board at this point. I think he's going to be a great player for us.
Yeah, no, definitely a solid pick there. With that, the 23rd pick in this year's draft, the Florida Flamingos will select Stu Macher, a relief pitcher, username Castor Boris. Let me pull up the draft notes real quick. The Mingos are happy to welcome Stu Macher to the organization. He's played in other sim leagues, but this is his first baseball one. We had a great conversation and have no doubt he will become a prominent member of the pitching staff. And Florida definitely has a very solid bullpen, and I'm sure that Stu will fit right in. As someone who was a Mingo, really nice team culture. and you're gonna fit right in Florida. Alright, the 24th pick, the Anchorage Wheelers will select Parker Steele, right fielder, username Park. Didn't have any notes from Anchor. We do have big notes in English. Perfect. From Nick Wise, not having a second round pick this season made us very nervous, but the draft broke just right, and we were able to get someone we were extremely high on here. Like our first pick, Park showed us a flexibility and eagerness that we could not miss out on. Thrilled he fell to us in the 3rd round. Parker Steele, have fun in Anchorage. I sincerely hope that you like freezing temperatures and 2 hours of sunlight. That's pretty much all you get in Alaska. The 25th pick of this round, the Florida Flamingos will choose Mark Honcho, first baseman, username Dakota B. Dakota was a pick we are putting faith in after a fantastic conversation I had with them, as well as thanking the Bears for putting him in the work to get him back into the league with his last player after he went IA for a bit. Now with a fresh start, we are hoping to keep that excitement going and really getting ingrained in the PBE here in Florida. Congrats, Mark Honcho, for going to the Florida Flamingos in round 3. And I do not have the chat open, but thank you to whoever subscribed. Those donations really help us keep our league up and running. Oops. With that, the 26th pick of this round, with the Armadillo selecting. Oh, there's nothing there. Jordan Love. That was weird. There's like nothing there. Just white. Okay. That's interesting. Jordan Love goes to Amarillo. With the 27th pick in this year's draft, the Louisville Lemurs will select Christopher Hoff, shortstop. These were Christopher Hoff. Heika, we want to talk more about this?
Yeah, we, KP and I both talked with this user and both had great conversations with them. Gave us some good positional flexibility that would allow him to slot in right with our the holes that we currently had. And it'll be great to have him in Louisville. Super excited to add another great user, especially all the way at 27. We were super happy that he fell to us here. So, welcome to Louisville, Christopher.
Another really great pick. And we'll go to the 4th round. With the 4th round, the Kansas City Headcats will select with their 28th pick David Corrigan, starting pitcher, user DC98. Jazzy, if you're there, you want to talk more about this pick?
Had to leave, so I think
he had to leave. Oh, no worries. With his draft notes, he actually did not send me one for DC. So, I guess you just want to talk about what you think about this pick. For people who are still here in the booth.
DC is might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I believe he's a DSFL GM in the ISFL. So seeing him apply for that and kind of take over that role, and he's been great. So I think that Kansas City definitely got a good user here at 28.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that State College had on our radar as a sort of like a late round pick. He and Katie actually know each other in the ISFL. They play for the same team over there, So it's really really nice. So KDR really wanted this player. Unfortunately, it just did not fall to us. Unfortunately. With that, with the 29th pick this round, the Louisville Lemurs will select Abe Ghosty, center fielder, username MJ9230. Jacob.
I was super surprised to see them fall all the way here. I think that it may have partially been due to that they created fairly late into the process, so some teams may not have had a chance to look at them yet. But one of the most active users, especially on the forums that's in the class, and just all my interactions with them have been super great. They're super nice and always thankful for all the help that people give them. So I'm really, really excited to get EMMJ in our center field to track down some balls and steal some bases, and super happy to welcome you to Louisville.
Yeah, no, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ghosty was one of like the late night, like last minute creates that we had on Tuesday, right?
I think it was Monday night, so about a
Yeah.
day before the draft started.
Yeah, so like last minute. So it's no surprise at all that a lot of teams just passed over him.
Yep. And honestly, so we originally had 21, and we traded back here to 29, and that was Abe was the player that I wanted at 21 when KP and I were talking about it, and so the fact that we got that Abe fell all the way to 29 was super. I was super happy about that. That we got to get the player that I wanted originally all the way down here.
Yeah, definitely from what I saw in last night's PL, Sim very much a very solid defender in the outfield. So he has got a really good pick there. With the 30th pick in the 4th round, the Bruce City Bears will select Marshmallow, center fielder, user Marshmallow. I'm pulling up the Bears draft notes right now on my phone. Give me just one moment. We expected Mr. Mello to go well before this, so getting him here felt like a no-brainer. Marsh was recruited by former Bear and now Mingo Dakota Bees, so he already had a steal approval before we even talked to him. He was the type of player he envisioned. That was exactly what we needed with Tonk Tomato going up to Buffalo. Great user, perfect fit for a player. What more could we ask for? I would say not much there. But definitely losing Tonk Tomato, as a solid, very solid defender. This was definitely a really really good pick. But I was surprised to see him drop this low though. Bruce City definitely 100% got a bit of a steal here. So congrats.
I think it speaks to the quality of the draft, right?
Oh yeah.
We've had a fantastic draft. There's a lot of users here, and there's a lot of great renders. And I think this might be the one. This might be my favorite.
It's an amusing. It's definitely an amusing render.
Draft graphics team has definitely had their hands full. There's been a lot of really creative renders, so done a great job of them so far.
Yeah, but this whole draft has just been one of the highest quality drafts that I've ever seen. And with the 31st pick, the Bruce City Bears will select James Noble, relief pitcher, username Vigilante. And from Bruce City, we learned the hard way last season that you can never have too many bullpen arms. We came into the draft with only one active user in the bullpen, and we're excited to double that number with this pick. Vigilante may be new to Sim League, but he's an OOTP vet, and with his knowledge and his want to be an elite closer, he'd be a fantastic addition to Bruce City. But yeah, no, as a Angels fan in real life, I know all too well about how important having a solid bullpen is. And if you only have one active relief pitcher in the minors, it's gonna be hard to win games for with that. So solid pick here in the late goings. Bruce City definitely got a position that they very much needed here, and I'm sure that Noble will fit right in with the Bears. With the 32nd pick in this year's draft, the California Firehawks will select Dan Bacco Jr., relief pitcher, username Stashy Chaff.
Yeah, so can't pronounce the name well. Is it actually Statue Tap? Anyway, one of the interesting things with this draft is that it was so deep, and it's very unusual when you're at this point in a draft to have players who are responsive and active. And it just so happened that things fell the right way, where there weren't many of those IA players you usually expect here. And instead, we were able to get someone who I believe can lock down our bullpen stopper position in the near future. We kind of had this thing going in California where we've had a few sinker-dominant players go through our bullpen and be really good and then go on to be great in the PvE. So I am absolutely stoked to see someone like this fall to us this late in the draft. And I think the impact that they're going to have is a lot higher than that of what you would usually see in a fourth-round pick. So I am very happy, very happy to welcome another Firehawk to the organization.
Yeah, no, don't sleep on the sinkers, man. Singers and circle changes would be like the one pitch that I would hate to have a go against at professional baseball, because they can bite. This especially placed really well. Benitez got a phenomenal pick here. The 33rd pick in this year's draft will go to the Anchorage Wheelers, who will select J-Dub, right field, username J-Dub _55 real. Pulling up the draft notes from Nick. And Nick goes, "What the heck happened here? J-Dub is extremely active, and our talks with him sounds like he has a bright future ahead in the PvE. Unreasonably late for him to fall, and we proudly welcome J-Dub up to the last frontier." Yeah, again, that just goes to show just how deep this class is when you have players like J-Dub, falling so low. It just goes to show just how good this draft class is. I don't think I've seen a single bust yet in 33 picks over 4 rounds. So, and with that, the Florida Flamingos with their 34th pick will select Rafferty Holman, relief pitcher, username AstrosFan _2022. And according to Lord Parkwad, with our final pick here, sadly this is an IA pick at this point, so we're just lucky to get another pen arm this late in the draft. And now we're finally starting to get to some of the more IA picks. Took 34 picks, but we are now getting to some of those IA sort of choices where you kind of just have to pick and hope it works out. But Florida definitely needed some bullpen arms because they lost a few the past couple seasons. So even IA, I'm sure that Holman will fit right in. With the 35th pick, the Amarillo Armadillos will select Brandon Stewart, shortstop, username also Brandon Stewart. Any thoughts on this pick from anyone here in the booth? No? Alright. And with the 36th pick, the Louisville Lemurs will select John Teton, second baseman, username George Brizzo. Jacob, what was the thought process behind this one?
Yeah. Well, so this is the last pick in the draft, but we actually were really happy to get Brizzo here. We haven't been able to connect with them, but they have been active on the forum. So we're hoping that we can either eventually connect with them on Discord or talk them to the forum and add another hitter with the last pick, which would be an amazing addition for us. So super happy to add you to the Lemurs, George.
Alright, and with that...
Yeah. And then, yeah, we do have some waivers. Punk DM'd me, so I will try and get them. They're not on the slides.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first waiver we had was Element, who went to the Lemurs. And Element was, I believe, decided to go inactive, but we picked him up just to make sure that if they came back, they had a home and always have a need for a shortstop. The next one was Ranjiro Sato, a left fielder, and they were claimed by the Bears. So congrats on going to Brew City. Next we had Randy Colon, who is a relief pitcher, and Randy Colon is going to the Hepcats. So enjoy Kansas City. Next user we had was Amidas Blair, who is a catcher, and Amidas Blair was claimed by the Swifties. So congrats on going to State College. We had our next waiver was CJ Levine, who was a second baseman, and Levine was claimed by the Bears as well. So congrats on going to Brew City. Then the last waiver we have is Osaki Rinji, who was claimed by the Kingpins. So congrats on going to Chicago, Osaki.
Alright, thank you for that. And with that, that will conclude this year's minor league draft. Thanks everyone for joining, and special thank you to Jacob and all the other GMs who did join me today. And tomorrow will be the awards. So yeah, I believe 11:30 Eastern. So tune into that. It's gonna be hosted by don't have to top my head. Let me pull that up real quick.
NAS.
Yep, NAS.
Yep.
11:30 tomorrow for the award ceremony. So if you had an outstanding performance, or if you just want to see and support your friends or your teammates, join NAS Space tomorrow for the award ceremony. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and congrats to all of our new draftees. We are so excited to have you join on the league, and for our recreates, welcome home, or even welcome back home to some of you who went to teams you played for before. Y'all have a good one.